What is worth every second of the extra time that it takes? Making sure someone gets into their house/apartment when you drop them off, before driving away. Leave your house early enough so you aren't trying to make up time on the road. Putting your seatbelt on. I've always worn mine, but I was in a serious accident about 15 years ago where I have no doubt my seatbelt saved my life. I don't ever get in a car without putting my seatbelt on first thing. Working safely. It only takes 1 second for something bad to happen to you and change your life forever. Leave from work the same way you came to work. Brushing your teeth. Cleaning as you go. Calling an older relative just to say hi and see how they're doing. It only takes a few minutes, but it means the world to them to hear from you. Removing valuables from your car. Cooking pizza rolls in the oven instead of the microwave will wait extra every time. Edit, my top comment is about pizza rolls. I couldn't be more proud. Shout out to Totino's. Fellow oven users, I appreciate your support and thanks for the cooking tips. Kissing your so goodbye in the morning. My so leaves almost every day before I'm even awake. He kisses me bye even if I'm not coherent enough to remember it happening. It's one of my favorite parts of the day. This is gonna sound lame, but hugging someone until they are ready to let go. Edit, holy shit, didn't expect this to blow up this big. Thanks for all the responses and the gold. Whomever you may be. Leaving for the bus/train etc. a bit earlier so that you don't have to stress in the last second or risk that the bus/train leaves too early. Asking questions. I swear 99% of complications in interpersonal difficulties in life are from people being too afraid to step on toes, hurt feelings, or just not taking the time to understand people. That all comes from a lack of asking questions and an abundance of assumptions. Lining up your socks on your feet so you don't spend all day with the heel part off on the side and the toe seam annoying your toes. Pre-flight check on an airplane, including weather ahead. Ensuring your keys are where you thought you put them, because you may think they're in your purse, but they may actually be hung up around the bottom of a bar stool in a restaurant that's about to close. Just saying. Oral sex. This might be more specific to me, but I work a sales job and I track all of my revenue. I make revenue in 2 separate areas, with spreadsheets for each. My co-workers don't do this. They just rely on management to track all of the revenue that actualizes, while complaining, at the same time, that they don't get paid enough, that they are being shorted on their commission. But how do they know they're being shorted if they don't even track it? I go through every sale that I make, as I make them, and then every day, I check to make sure the sale actualized. Then at the end of the month I calculate my total commission, and check it against the incentive check my boss gives me. This way, if it's discrepant, I can point it out. And I can also plan my finances accordingly, so there's no surprises when my commission isn't as great one month. I have made more money since doing this, like several hundreds of dollars more every month, because then I can put a strategy into place if there are areas where I see I need to improve. It takes me maybe 10 minutes every day. But my co-workers say they don't have the time, they just want to complain that their check isn't as much as they thought it would be. Clean your home before taking a journey/trip. It just sucks to come home after a long day in the car/train/plane and your desired home is a mess. Tidy up at least a bit, wash dirty dishes, do the bed, and you will feel welcome when you return home. Grabbing all empty drinks, trash, jackets out of the car every single time you pull in the driveway so that it stays clean. prepping the following day's meals. I eat like a hobbit and will pack breakfast, morning snack, lunch, and afternoon snack. I don't overeat or get lightheaded during the day because everything is already figured out. So worth the extra time in the evening. Edit, for all you Elot fans, I realize I don't eat exactly like a hobbit. No second breakfast, 11sies, etc. My point being, I eat similar to a hobbit, meaning frequent meals. I back my car into my spot at work so I can gun it and get out of there slightly faster when my day is done. Catholics all learned this trick when going to church. You get there 2 minutes before everyone else does and get a good spot by the exit of the lot, and back into the best spot. When mass is over, you can make it to brunch before the brunch rush. Saves you time leaving church and waiting for brunch, you good to cuz the Jesus crackers and wine are holding you over. I take the time to heat milk up on the stove when I make hot chocolate. It's so much smoother and my family agrees it's better that way, but they still microwave hot water because it's quicker. My wife was surprised that I use milk in my hot cocoa. Apparently she uses water. I knew that was a thing, but you don't expect it from the people you love. Edit, yes we are still together. Changing the bed sheets, even if you're tired. Love when everything feels so crisp and clean. Cleaning while you cook, especially if you live alone. Most times I'll have everything cleaned and put away, and leftover containers portioned out before I start eating. Things wash off easier right away, and most recipes have enough downtime to finish everything, though I have occasionally had to microwave my own meal. Heck, just cleaning in general, actually. Doing a little every day stops it from building up to the point where it seems like a monumental task you keep putting off. Chewing your food. Playing with a kid or animal. Even doing it for a mere 5 minutes brightens human existence. Spending time with your kids. Why the hell are you spending time with my kids? Foreplay. Unless you are going for the quickie, good foreplay is a must. I do not understand people who get in and out in 5 minutes. Here's a tip, don't put it in until she is practically begging for you to. Would you please just put it in so you can go already? 5 minutes? What are we running a marathon here? Studying before a test. I'm looking at you 8th grade me. Making a good sandwich. You can have a mediocre lunch consisting of meat, mustard, and bread in 15 seconds. Or, in 72 seconds you can have meat, cheese, onion, lettuce, mustard, mayo, olive oil, balsamic, salt, and pepper. That takes 72 seconds for you? That's some fancy sandwiching. You're pretty good. Cable management when building a PC. Flossing. Years ago, I got sick of being railed on by my dentist for not flossing. So I decided that I would floss every goddamn day between 2 appointments to see what happened. She noticed. Driving. You can afford to wait a minute or two if you're unsure to enter the lane safely. Toasting the bun/bread for a burger or sandwich. It's so much better and really is worth it. You owe it to yourself, because you're worth it. Wiping. Are there people who don't wipe? Even when you don't have soft paper available, I will take blood over shit any day. But there are people who don't wipe very thoroughly. Had a co-worker who would wipe 2 times and pull up the pants no matter if his ass was clean or not. Imagine a hot day in an office without air conditioning. How do you know this? Were you casually observing one day? One of those particular hot days I couldn't take it any longer and asked him if he shat himself because that smell came after he went to the bathroom. He'd like to spare you with the details of the conversation that followed this question, but he told me that he wipes 2 times and how that simply had to be enough. Sounds like a shitty work environment. Lockout/tagout. Sleeping. Opening a condom. I would say putting it on is probably more important. Post-coital touching, rubbing, kissing. Had an ex that would spring out of bed like the start of a foot race. I don't give a damn about wet spots. Just lay here for a few minutes all tangled up in skin, hair, sweat, and love. If your ex was a woman, she may have been getting up to urinate and prevent a UTI. I used to hate the idea of going to the bathroom after sex because it seemed so unromantic. But eventually I conceded that the uninterrupted romance wasn't worth the reoccurring pain.